Professor V. Muralidhar is serving as head, Department of Mathematics, Mohammed Satak College of Arts and Science, Chennai. He has 23 years of teaching experience. He has attended 3 international and 5 national conferences. He was a resource person at the Mohammed Satak Teachers Training College in Chennai in 2012, where he spoke on History of Mathematical Genius Ramanujan. He was elected Academic Counselor, University of Madras during 2003-06. He has attended the Orientation and Refresher courses at the Academic Staff College, University of Madras. He specializes in stochastic modeling and has rich experience in discrete mathematics, operations research, statistical methods, and numerical analysis.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. So, in the last session, we have seen different types of forecasting methods. So, among the forecasting methods, today we start with moving average method, semi-average method, and simple problems based on these time series methods. So, the first one is, we start with the semi-average method. So, this is another important time series method where we have the data divided into 2 parts, preferably with the same number of years. Then an average of each part is obtained, from which we get 2 points. Each point is plotted at the midpoint of the class interval covered by the respective part, and then 2 points are joined by a straight line which gives the required trend line. The line can be extended downwards or upwards to get immediate values or to predict the future values. Examples. So, there are 2 types of models in this. One is odd number of years, another one is even number of years. So, let us start with the first one, that is odd number of years. So, in this problem, fit a trend line to the following data by the method of semi-averages. So, in this, if you see, you got year given from 2010 to 2016, and correspondingly sales values are given for each year, like 102, 116, 114, 110, 108, 116 and 112. So, here if you see, the number of years in the data is 7, and hence the data can be divided into 2 halves. Now, we take the average of the first 3 years and the average of the next 3 years from the given data. So, in the above data, if you take the first 3 years average, 102 plus 106 plus 114 divided by 2. So, which gives 107. For the second 3 years, we have got 108 plus 116 plus 112 divided by 2, that is 112. So, we can take these 2 as the base year, and based on that you have to plot the corresponding trend line. These 2 points 107 and 112, they are plotted corresponding to the respective middle years, that is 2002 and 2006. By joining these 2 points, we get the required trend line. So, here in the diagram, you have to plot the years on horizontal axis and the corresponding sales on the vertical axis. For each of the year, put a dot mark corresponding to the sales. So, if you join all these points, you are going to get a curve like this, and in the middle of the 2 years, 107 and 112, you have to draw a straight line which is the required trend line for the given data. Now, let us move to the next model, that is even number of years. See, here you fit a trend line to the following data by the method of semi-averages and estimate the sales for the year 2017. So, in this data, he has given the year from 2009 to 2016. So, sales he has given for each of the corresponding years. So, for 2009 it is 412, for 2010 it is 438, 2011 444, etc. 2016 it is 500. So, for this problem if you see, the number of years is 8, which is an even number, and hence the data can be divided into two halves, where we take the average of the first 4 years and the average of the next 4 years from the given data. So here we get for the first 4 years the average value. You have to add the first 4 years, that is 412, 438, 444 plus 454 divided by 4, that will give you 437. For the second 4 years, we get the average value to be 450, 470 plus 482 plus 490 plus 500 divided by 4, which gives 485.5. So in this data you take these 2 points and plot it in the graph. So these 2 points shall be taken corresponding to the middle years, that is 1st July 2010 and 1st July 2014. The estimated sales for the year 2017 is obtained by projecting the semi-average trend line, which gives you rupees 518 lakhs. The difference is due to the fact that the time series analysis helps to get the best possible estimates on certain assumptions, which may come out to be true or not depending upon how far these assumptions have been realized in practice. So you plot this one in the graph by taking year on the horizontal axis and sales in the vertical axis. So when you are plotting for each year, you have to plot the corresponding sales. You represent by dots, and if you join all these dots by a curve, that is going to give you trend curve. So in this trend curve, you take those 2 middle years and you join those middle years by drawing a straight line through those 2 points crossing the given trend curve, which will give you the required trend line. So let us see some of the simple exercise problem. So you have to fit a trend line to the following data using semi-average method, where we have the number of years to be odd in the first problem. In the second problem, if you see, the number of years we are getting around 7, which is also odd. So you can do this by using the first method. Now the next one is, let us see some of the simple merits and demerits of semi-average method. The first one, we will see the merits of semi-average method. See, this method is very simple to understand as compared to the moving average method and the method of least squares. See, this is an objective method of measuring trend, as everyone gets the same result, leaving aside the arithmetical mistakes. And what are the demerits of semi-average method? See, this method assumes a straight line relationship between the plotted points regardless of the fact whether that relationship exists or not, because we are drawing this line randomly by joining the 2 given points which we have centered in the given data. Hence this method gives only the corresponding straight line relationship, and this relationship is only a approximate one. And another important demerit is, if there are extremes in either half or both the half of the series, then the trend line will not give a true picture of the growth factor. Consequently, the trend values obtained are not precise enough for the purpose either of the forecasting the future trend or of eliminating the trend from the original data. Now let us move to another important method called the method of moving averages. See, moving averages is another important method which is an improvement over semi-average method, as short term fluctuations are eliminated by it. Let us see the different steps of moving average method, which are given as follows. See, in the first step, you have to obtain the moving average. A group of beginning 2 years, or we say 2 periods, which are synonymous, which constitute a business cycle, is chosen for calculating the average. See, this average is placed in front of the middle of the years or middle of the periods of the group averaged. So in the second step, now you delete the first year or period value from the group and add a succeeding year value in the group. Find the average of the reconstituted group and place it in the front of the middle year of the group. Now in the step 3, if the number of years or periods in the group is odd, then there is no problem of locating the middle year. But if the number of years or periods in the group is even, then no single year is in the middle year. Hence, to overcome this, the average of the averages in pairs is corresponding calculated and placed against the middle years of the two. In this way, moving averages are set against the corresponding years. So in the step 4, you have to repeat the preceding step 2 till all the years in the given data are exhausted. Now in the step 5, these moving averages themselves constitute a time series. Step 6, plot the moving averages on a graph sheet taking the years along the x axis and the moving averages along the y axis by choosing the proper scales. Scales means you should take the scaling on x axis and y axis. In the step 7, join all the plotted points in the sequence of time periods. Then the resulting graph provides the corresponding trend line. Now let us see some of the important merits and demerits of moving averages. First see moving averages merits. So here the first one is, the greatest merit is that it eliminates the short term fluctuations. Second important thing is, moving averages reduces the effect of extreme values. And third one, extending the series by some more ensuing years. It does not require to redo the whole computations, but it can add some more trend values by calculating additional moving averages. And some of the demerits are, these trend values cannot be computed for all the years. See, the longer the period of moving average period, the greater the number of years for which the trend values cannot be obtained. And since there are no points plotted for a few beginning and the end years, the moving average method is not appropriate for projections. See, there are a hardly many time series having regular cycles, but they are always taken to be regular. This introduces an error. This method is not fully mathematical. So for same time series there can be a number of trends, since there is no strict rule through which one decides the number of point periods in the corresponding group. Now let us see some simple examples where we solve it using the moving average method. See, there are different types of methods. First one is you got 3-year moving average, then we have 5-year moving average, then we have 7-year moving average. Let us see one by one. So the first one is calculate 3-yearly moving averages of the production figures given below. So you are given a data where we have year and a corresponding production. So the year is given between 2001 to 2015 and production is given for 2001 to 2015. So here we have to calculate the first moving total and then moving averages for the given data. Now let us see the following problem. That is, in this case you have got the number of years given in the first column, second you are given the number of students, and then we have 5-yearly total and then we got 5-yearly moving average. So when you are given this year 2006 to 2015, then the number of students for each year is given. So for 2016 6 it is 332, 2007 317, 2008 357, etc. 2015 it is 438. Now to find out the 5-year moving total, first you have to take the 5 years period, that is 332, 317, 357, 392 and then 402. First 5 years you have to add, that is going to give you 1800. Second one is you take 317, 357, 392, 402 and 405, that is going to give you 1873. Then 357, 392, 402, 405, 410, that is going to give you 1966. And finally you take 410 from 405, 410, 402, 405, that is going to give you 2049. And the last one you have 405, 410, 427, 405, 438. You add everything, you get 2085. Now after completion of 5 year total, you should take 5 years average. Now you divide each of them by 5. So 1800 by 5, it is going to give you 360. 1873 by 5, you get 374.6. 1966 by 5, you are going to have 393.2, etc. 2085 by 5, it is going to be 417. And when you are plotting these points in the table, you must be very careful. For the first one and second one, we do not have the corresponding period, so it should be empty, and from the third onwards you should start putting the 5 year moving total, which is going to be uniform. See, above we got 2 blank and below we got 2 blank, and the averages also you get similarly. And calculations, see, for this one you are given the year 2001 to 2008. So in this case 3 yearly totals are calculated for each of the production. So here we take first 3, that is 15, 21, 30. You add all the 3, you are going to get 66, that is the first one. And the second 3 yearly moving total, 21 plus 30 plus 36, it is going to be 87. Then 36, 42, 46, it is going to be 106. Then we have 124. Finally 46, 50 and 56, that is going to give you 152, and the last one is 169. Then for finding the 3 year moving average, we divide each of these moving total by 3. 66 by 3, you get 22. 87 by 3, you get 29. So finally 169 divided by 3, that is going to give you 56.33. So this is for the second span of data. Since the number of years is 15, first we calculated for the first 8 years, in the second one we are calculating for the next 8 years. So here we have from 2009 to 15, and the corresponding productions are given, and 3 yearly moving total. So we take 63, 70, 74, we get 189, etc. Finally you got 90, 95, 102, that is going to give you the corresponding 267, and the last one is going to be 287, and you should divide each of these value by 3, that is going to give you the corresponding 3 yearly moving average. And then if you take the even period of moving average, what are the different conditions that we have? So if the moving average is even period, moving average say 4 yearly or 6 yearly, etc., then the moving total and moving average, which are placed at the center of the time span from which they are computed, fall between the 2 time periods. Here the moving average so placed will not coincide with the original time period. Hence we synchronize moving averages and the original data, and this processing is called centering processing, and always consists of taking a 2 period moving average of the moving averages. And let us see a simple example. So in this case you assume a 4 yearly cycle and calculate the trend by the method of averages from the following data relating to the production of tea in India. So here he has given the year from 2007 to 2016. So we have got around 9 to 10 years, and in this production is given to be 464 for 2007, 515 for 2008, etc., for 612 for 2016. How we are going to have 4 years cycle? So in this case, first you have to calculate the trend value by taking the corresponding 7 columns. First one you got year, second we got production in pounds, and third we got the clubbing of these years, and fourth one is 4 yearly moving totals, and fifth one is you got 4 yearly moving average, sixth one it is going to be clubbing of the totals, and the last one you got 4 yearly moving average, which are centered values. So if you take the first one, you have got 2007 464, 2008 515, 2009 518 and 2010 467. So, when I take the first 4 years total, you should take 464, 515, 518, 467. So, we center these two values we center in this arrow and these two we center with these two arrows. Now, you add all these 4 values, that is going to give you 1964. The next 4 values will be 515, 518, 467, 502 which are clubbed by this arrow, and the corresponding value summation will be 2002. Now, the last one you got 518, 467, 502 and then 540. So, that is going to give you the total 2027, and for taking 4 year average we divide this one by 4. Similarly, 2002 by 4 you get 500.50, 2027 by 4 we get 506.75. After getting total, you have to club again these two 4 year averages. So, you take the summation of these two and you should center both of them. So, you add both and divide by 2, that is going to give you 495.75. Then 500.50 plus 506.75 you divide by 2, it is going to give you 503.62. This is the centering of the corresponding data, and this is centered represented by the corresponding arrow diagram. Now, let us take the next span of years from 2012 to 2016. So, here also you are given the year with the corresponding productions given 540, 557 etc. 612. Now, when you are taking the total, you should take the first 4 years, next 4 years you put totals 2066, 2170 etc. 2326, and when you are taking the centering you get the corresponding value corresponding to the given arrow. Now, after finding the 4 year moving total, you take the 4 year moving average. So, you divide this one by 4, you get 516.50, you divide 2170 by 4, you get 542.50 etc. The last one 2326, you divide by 4, you get 581.50. Now, we wanted to center this one. So, for making centering we have this arrow, you add 516.50 plus 542.50 and divide by 2, you get 529.50. So, this is the meaning of centered value. Similarly, 542.5 plus 563.5 by 2, you get 553, and the last one you get 572. So, this is how we club the corresponding. This is a case when we got even number of years. Whenever you got even number of years, we used to calculate by using this centered method. Now, let us see another simple example where we got to calculate 5 yearly and 7 yearly moving averages for the following data, which gives the number of commercial and industrial failures in a country between 2001 to 2016. And here also, as in the preceding problem, we are dividing this data into 2 parts. First one gives 2001 to 2008, second one gives 2009 to 2016. Now, in the first part you are given number of failures of each of the mission, that is 23, 26 etc. up to 12 and 10. Now, 5 yearly moving total, you add the first 5 values, that is 23, 26, 28, 32 and 20. Add all these values and divided by 5, you get 129. The next 5 values 26, 28, 32 plus 20 plus 12 divided by 5, you get 118. So, like that we take each of these totals to be here, and if you divide each of them by 5, that is going to give you this column, that is 25.8, 23.6 etc. 11.2. Now, then we take a 7 year total. So, whenever I come to 7 years, you take 2001 to 2007. So, you add all this 23, 26, you go up to plus 12 plus 12, and if you take this total, that is going to be 153. Then you take the next 7, it is going to give you 140. So, you should take accordingly. Now, after calculating the 7 year total, you have to take 7 year average. So, you divide this 153 by 7, it is going to give you 21.9. Similarly, 140 by 7, it is going to give you 20.0 etc. 87 by 7, you get 12.5. 4. And for the second part, you have got 2009 to 2016 years given, nearly 8 years are given. For each of the 8 years, you are given the number of failures from 9, 13, 11 etc. up to 3 and 1. Now 5 yearly moving total. So here also you should add the first 5 values, you get 55, next 5 values you get 57, you got the last 5 values you get 39. Now if you add all these totals, each of these value you must divide by 5, that will give you the 5 yearly moving average. See 55 by 5 you get 11, 57 by 5 11.4, you go etc. 39 by 5 you get 7.8. Now after finding the 5 year average, we will move to 7 year total first. 7 year total you should add 9, 13, 11, 14, 12, 9, then you got plus 3, you divide by, first you add all this total, that is going to give you 81. Now if you divide this by 7, that is going to give you 11.6. So like that you have to compute for each of the corresponding values, and that is going to give you 7 yearly moving average. Now let us have a small summarization. See here we have seen today the semi average method and then moving average method. In the semi average method we have seen how to find out the corresponding trend line, and in the moving average method we have seen different types of odd periods and even periods, and accordingly how to determine the corresponding trend line. And let us see some of the simple exercise problems for your working. Fit a trend line to the following data using moving average method. So here we are given the year from 2002 to 2008 and correspondingly production 81, 93 etc. we are given up to 95. Then second one, you fit a trend line to the following data using moving average method, where we are given year from 1994 to correspondingly 2000, and correspondingly the sales is given to be 30, 24, 45 etc. up to 92. Thank you.